Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Godwin, and welcome back to Econometrics YouTube channel. Our discussion for today is on perfect price discrimination. Perfect price discrimination. So, by seeing this, you might be thinking, okay, maybe it's a combination of the perfect market as well as price discrimination. That's not really the case. So, in other classes, we've talked about price discrimination, and in this particular class, we're talking about a type of price discrimination. So, perfect price discrimination. What is price discrimination? Price discrimination is basically the selling of the same product. The product has the same quality and the same characteristics to different consumers at different prices with reasons not really attributable to higher cost or changing cost. So I have on board that price discrimination is the selling of the same good or service to different customers at different prices with reasons not primarily related to changing cost of production. So when we're talking about price discrimination, we are looking at a seller selling the same products, like this piece of chocolate, to different people at different prices. All right. Now, so the type of price discrimination is now the perfect price discrimination. But before we get here, under what market structure do you think price discrimination is possible? So for you to be able to charge different prices to different consumers and still make money that is not chasing your consumers away, you must have a reasonable amount of market power, like a significant market power. And that is, in public competitive markets, firms are price takers. The competition is so crazy that none of the firms can try to raise price and sell anything. If any publicly competitive firm should raise its price, it won't sell anything because people can go to other people and there's private information and so on and so forth. So there's no market power for any firm in the publicly competitive industry. Then we move into monopolistically competitive industry, and then you have some differentiation of products which gives firms a leverage, which gives them some form of market power. They can charge higher price for their product and not lose all their customers, right? Then we move into other market structures like oligopoly as well as monopoly. But the thing is that for you to be able to practice price discrimination, your market power must be really, really strong. Alright, and that is why in the real world, I think price discrimination is more seen or more plausible in oligopolistic industries as well as monopolistic industries. You have it, in fact, in monopoly, monopoly is the kind of perfect place where price discrimination is possible. And what is the reason? It's because there is a single firm that is facing the industry demand. A single firm that is facing the industry demand. So the demand of what the firm is responding to is not what the firm is responding to is the entire industry's demand, the total demand for that particular product. So, and it's not even every monopolist that can price discriminate. No, it's not. It's not every monopoly that can price discriminate. So here we're looking at a monopoly. We're looking at two kind of monopolies. A monopoly where price discrimination is possible, and a monopoly where there is no price discrimination. In fact, the one where the price discrimination is possible is there are different, there could be different variations of them, but we are looking at a perfect price discriminator, alright, or a perfect price discriminating monopolist, alright, a perfect price discriminating monopolist. So now, what is perfect doing in this topic? What's perfect doing there? Perfect is simply telling us that when we bring this together with the perfect price discrimination, it's simply telling us here that this is the type of price discrimination where the monopolist is able to charge each buyer the maximum amount that the buyer wants to buy the product. Alright, and this brings us to the issues around consumer surplus. Consumer surplus being the difference between the maximum amount that a buyer wants to purchase a product and the actual amount that the buyer buys that product. Alright, so the maximum. So if I go into the market, for example, and I want to buy, I have a tripod stand in front of me. So let me say, my mindset after my research and everything is to get a tripod stand of, let me say, 57,000 naira. But then I then get to the market to realize that the kind of tripod stand I want, or maybe a better one, goes for 30,000. So I have a surplus of 27,000. Difference between 57,000 and 30,000, that's 27,000. So the maximum amount I am willing to pay for a tripod stand is 57, and the actual market price is 30. So having consumer surplus. So a perfect price discriminating monopolies is that monopolies that we know that what I want to that we know that the maximum amount I am willing to buy this product is actually 57,000, and that perfect and that monopolist will be able to charge me that amount exactly. Alright, so now and for every buyer of this tripod stand, provided that this monopolist is the only one selling tripod stands, everybody I value the product at 57,000 naira. There are people that may value the product at more than that, maybe 70,000. I'm thinking that okay, at worst, alright, this is if this thing is more than 7,000, I'm not buying. If it is more than 70,000, I'm not buying. So the maximum amount I want to buy this stuff is 70,000 naira. So when they try to realize that the price is 30,000, so they have 40,000 naira what they call this consumer surplus. Whereas there are people that value the product less than what I actually value it. So there are people that will value at 35,000. So such people have 5,000 naira consumer surplus. There are people that will value at 31,000 naira, and there might be people that value at exactly 30,000 naira. You understand? So all of this is what consumer surplus is all about. Now, as long as the additional revenue that a monopolist is going to derive from selling one more tripod stand, for example, is greater than the marginal cost of making one more tripod stand available for an additional buyer, the monopolist will continue to do what? To sell, alright, to produce and to sell tripod stands. So I just kind of use that as an example for you to understand where we are going to. Now there are conditions for price discrimination to even take place at all. Alright, there are conditions, and I think there are two fundamental conditions for this to happen. Now, the conditions of price discrimination, so let me just write conditions, at least you can listen to me and know what I'm referring to. So the conditions of price discrimination is one, there must be different elasticity of demand. There must be different elasticities, or let me just say there must be different PED, where P is PED, right? So price elasticity of demand, there must be different price elasticity of demand. And number two, the good, or service, the good or service must not be transferable. Must not be transferable. So that is, the monopolist must be able to ensure that there are no certain buyers. No, the first point is telling us that for price discrimination to occur at all, so that means there must be a general category of people that value a product at a higher price than another category of people that value a product at a lower price. Now let's assume that the marginal cost of production of this tripod stand is, you can't see it, don't worry. This tripod stand is 30,000 naira, for example. Now, if there are people like myself that are willing to pay, that have a willingness, that are maximum willingness to pay, starting from maybe 50,000, so 50, 60 upwards, up to the guy that wants to pay 70,000 naira. And then there is this other set of people that their maximum willingness to pay is around, let's say, 40, 35, and something like that. So when the monopolist sees this, he can create, he's facing the entire industry demand, right? So he can segment the market, maybe into two segments, alright? So there will be a market where the price that is going to sell the product will be the least maximum willingness to pay. Now this is what I'm trying to say. So if you have like a category, let's say you have 100 category of people that want to buy these stocks at a higher price. Let's say the least of them wants to buy this product at, let's say, 50,000 naira. Alright, and then there is this other category where the least of them wants to buy this product at 30,000 naira. So there could be two different markets where in the first market the price of the product will just sell for 50,000 naira. Alright, to capture people that have the maximum willingness to pay. In this, I'm not talking about perfect price discrimination, I'm just trying to explain discrimination totally. And then there will be this other market where people would be where the price of the product will be 30,000 naira. So because from doing that, the monopolist is able to increase the profit of his product. Alright, so that's it. So there are people that have a less elastic demand, they have an inelastic demand. People like myself, the big boys that have the money. I am not the big boy. Okay, let me change the example. Maybe people like you that have the money, you watching that have the money, and then people like myself, who are in the other category, or who might be in the other category, something like that. So you have people like you that have a less elastic demand, or let's say an inelastic demand for this product. Alright, and then there is this other category of people that have a more elastic demand for for this plan. If you try to increase the price in that particular market to let's say 50,000 naira, you are going to have a significant amount, a significant number of people not buying product at all. Alright, so that's what we are trying to say. In my own markets, in the market where you are, for example, if the price were raised to let's say 55,000 naira, there may not be a lot of people that would leave the product, alright, as long as the gain from increasing that price is greater than the loss from increasing the price, right? So monopolies do, they start people different prices in order to increase their profit. Now look at it, it is the same product. It's not as if there's a change in cost of production. Alright. Although when we look at types of when we look at the use of price discrimination, there is a type of thing that results from change in supply cost. Alright. So there are different types of or different degrees of price discrimination. So it's actually an assignment in this video. So this particular type, type of price discrimination we have four degree of price discrimination as I speak now, based on my level of understanding. We have four. So we have first degree, second degree, third degree, and then the fourth degree. So the one that we have here is actually the first degree price discrimination. First degree. So it's, you either call it perfect price discrimination or the first degree first degree price discrimination. So we have second, third, and then we have fourth. Right. So that's it. Anyway, so we then move on to there's something else I've been talking about. So how does a monopolist, okay, who cannot price discriminate, okay, how does this set his price and output decisions? So you have 0 here. This is the quantity axis, and then this is here you have price. Average cost is determined from here. Your marginal revenue and what have you, all of them are determined from this point of from this axis of the curve. So we have this, alright, so this is the AR curve, right? This is the AR curve. Okay, then we also have the MR curve. Now I'm going to explain the MR curve for you. How we tend to have an MR curve like this. So we have the MR curve. This is the MR curve. So and then this is the demand curve. Then you have the marginal cost curve. Alright, so usually marginal cost curve is like this. So I've not even put the cost of the average cost of the let us look at the profit aspect of it. So now this is MC, marginal cost, this is MR. So on this point, where MC is equal to MR, the quantity here is the quantity that this guy is going to produce, alright, and then it brings it to the demand curve, and then this determines the price of this particular produce. So if you look at it, at this quantity, the price, right, is greater than the marginal revenue. At this quantity, this is greater than the marginal revenue and the marginal cost. But there's the point I want to bring out is price being greater than the marginal revenue for a monopoly. If you recall from publicly competitive markets, price is equal to what? The marginal revenue. So why is it that the price of a monopolist is greater than the marginal revenue? Of course, this is going to be this is going to lead to an inefficiency, kind of a dead weight loss. And then this is going to be dead weight loss. I think I've already explained this in an old class. So this is going to be the dead weight loss. This triangle, let me call triangle ABC. Alright. So if it were a purely competitive market, alright, so the price would have hit the demand, or the price would have been equal to the AR curve. Alright. So the price would have been equal to the AR curve and equal to the MR curve as well. And then it will also be where MC cuts the MR. So that point is this. Okay, where price will be equal to the AR. Alright, something like this. Something like this. We bring it down here. Alright, so there would have been the price that we lower if this was a highly competitive industry, and then the quantity, then kind of try to make it a little bit thick. So this is the price for the monopolist. So this is the price for the competitor. This is the quantity of the monopolist, and then this is the quantity of the competitor. So for a non-price discriminating monopolist, you have the price there, then you kind of have the dead weight loss, and then the quantity. Okay, from the definition of the dead weight loss already. So loss in total welfare, alright, arising from an inefficient allocation of resources. Okay, what's this? To maximize total welfare, we have had to produce this, but that this is what this the monopolist is producing. So we kind of know this already. Now the way I'm going to now, I said I'm going to explain why the MR is lower than that. Now in a currently competitive market, which I also explained in an earlier class, Y is P equal to MR. Now, you recall that a highly competitive firm is a price taker, right? Is a price taker. So, and what is MR? MR is TR, change in TR, arising. MR is change in TR arising from a change in quantity, right? And that's going to give us like TR2 minus TR1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. But TR, right? TR is equal to price times quantity, right? Alright, and this price is not changing because this firm is a price taker. It takes the price from the industry and then sells whatever it wants to sell at that particular price. Alright, so the price is constant. So we'll be having the same price, let me call it the same price, which is let me just write a P, let me just put an asterisk here. P star, right? Just looks like a constant price. So we're having this Q2 to represent TR2 and then this Q1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. So by the time we take P star out, we have Q2 minus Q1, okay, divided by Q2 minus Q1. So instead of then dividing each other, then we are left with P star. So that P star is actually still the price that we have here. So that's why we say that, okay, after proving the whole thing, that the price is equal to the marginal revenue. So the issue with the monopoly is why the price is lesser, why the price is better than the marginal revenue is that for a monopoly is done for this is now for a non-discriminating monopolist now. Okay, the monopolist is done between charging a higher price or increasing sales, increasing output. You know, the higher the price, the lower the quantity demand. It's still to a monopolist, even though the monopolist happens to be the only seller of that commodity that doesn't have a close substitute in that entire industry. Are you getting me? Now let me give you an example. For the fact that you are the only seller of something doesn't mean that people will buy. Right? And doesn't mean that a lot of people will buy. Or it doesn't mean that people will buy to an extent that they begin to make profit. People might be buying, but then it might not go to that stage where they're going to make a lot of money. So now let's assume that the highest amount anyone is willing to pay for this tripod stand, for example, and we're assuming that the seller of the tripod stand is the monopoly. The highest price is 70,000 naira. But then this monopoly sets price at 75,000 naira. Who's going to buy? Alright, so people are not going to buy, it's too expensive. So they just find people turning to other alternatives, right? People may just decide not to use anything related to tripod stand at all, right? And then begin to find different kind of things that you can use that are not tripod stands at all. So just try to find other things that can in the long run serve them the same purpose that they want to use a tripod stand for. Alright, so that's the point. So because of that, when a monopolist increases price, there is when a monopolist increases price, for example, output falls, right? Output falls to some extent, and then the bonus that the monopolist gets from an increase in price, alright, is going to be offset to some point from the decline in quantity. The same thing goes if a monopolist wants to expand sales, wants to sell more, alright, it has to kind of lower the price of its product. So the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. But then when the quantity demanded is increasing, alright, there is a part of price that is kind of reducing. Now I'm going to use a numerical example for you to understand it. So there's an offset between changes in price and changes in quantity demanded. So this guy is not like the current competitor that can sell whatever it wants as the price that the market is giving. No, price is changing in opposite way compared to how quantity is also changing. So there's an offset between changes in price and changes in quantity, alright, which will kind of give you a total revenue that would not be a total revenue might be higher or lower, it depends. So from the changes in total revenue, by the time you calculate your marginal revenue, the offset in price and quantity is going to lead to a lower marginal revenue compared to what the price would have been. Alright, so now let me start to explain. Just leave that point. I'm going to explain numerically. Alright. So now let's start talking about the public discrimination monopolies. So here there's going to be an assumption. There's going to be I've already told you some of them. That's okay. There must be different prices that still demand. The good or service must not be transferable. The monopolist must ensure that nobody. Okay, this second point I didn't explain it. That nobody in the markets where the transport stand sells cheaper is able to buy at a cheaper rate and then sell in the other market where the price is expensive. Now, if the price in the first market is 30,000 naira, for example, and then someone is able to buy at 30,000 naira, and then go to the other market where the price is 50,000 naira, all right, but sells there at 45,000 naira, making a profit of 15. So if that is possible, then the price distribution cannot work. All right, so people will be able to buy at a lower price, at a relatively lower price now from one market, and then they go to the other market and sell below the monopoly price in the other market. So price distribution is not going to work. All right, so this condition of the fulfilled that the good or service must not be transferable, must not be transferable. So that is very, very important. If nobody can do that, buy from the lower price market and go into the higher price market and sell below the price that the monopolist is charging. So price distribution is going to work, and then there's going to be an increase in that overall profit. So I'm talking about that. Now the other thing that I'm going to talk about for a perfect price discriminating monopolies is regarding its marginal cost. Okay, so we are going to be making an assumption here that the marginal cost is constant no matter the level of output. Alright, and that is actually possible in the real world. Now let's assume that we are talking about a school. Okay, let's assume that we are talking about a school. Now, if there is a new student, we are trying to extend our service to additional students. Okay, so if there is a new student, now that doesn't mean that we are going to build a new apartment. Like that doesn't mean that we are going to build a new classroom for the students. It also doesn't mean that we are going to hire a new teacher for that student, except the teacher happens to be a math teacher and that school doesn't have a math teacher before. You understand? So except the subject that the student is taking, or the course that the student is taking is a very important course that there has been no teacher for. So you then begin to wonder what. Okay, let's just leave it that way. Let us leave this that way. So a new student comes in. You are not buying a new board, alright, because of that new student. Alright, there are students in the class already, so you are just trying to extend your service, and you are not building a new school for the students. You are not getting a new laboratory for the students. So we are talking about laboratory existing in the school, so that the additional cost to the school of extending their service to a new student is kind of insignificant. It's kind of small. All right. So then it is easy to assume that okay, it is small, it is constant, given how the school runs. All right. So it's possible that it is so insignificant that it is very insignificant, and it is kind of the same. All right. So now we're talking about based on how the school runs, kind of trying to incorporate the technology that the school is running on. So based on how the school currently runs, all right, and provided that the school has not exceeded, it's still within the capacity that it can take. All right. So bringing in new students will not necessarily bring in an additional cost. All right. So which can make the marginal cost so small. All right, or the marginal cost kind of almost equal to zero. Okay, so here we are assuming a constant marginal cost, right? So no matter the increase in output, so the marginal cost is going to be the same thing. All right, so that is something that we okay. So for a apparently discriminating monopolist, okay. So I have this. I'm going to draw a table there. You will have this. So I said I've assumed a constant MC, right? So here I'll be having a alpha, but this area alpha is actually going to be equal to the marginal revenue. So there is no other marginal revenue here, and then I'm going to be having this is the MC, the constant MC over every it's kind of straight, over every level of output. All right. So this is going to be the quantity. Okay. Alright. So where MC is equal to your FR. Okay. I think there's something I have to okay. Alright. So it's fine. Now remember that I said that this monopolist is going to be charging people their maximum price. It's going to be charging it's going to be charging its customers the maximum price they are willing to pay. So this person that is willing to pay, let's say this price is maybe 10 naira, for example, for this product. Alright, the person that is willing to pay So if this person wants to buy, let me say, this is 1, and this person is willing to pay 8, the monopolist will sell at this price to that person. Alright, and then when there is an additional demand, alright, and this increased to 2, alright, and the price is 7, this monopolist will sell at 7, alright, to this particular person, and then we have this, if the price was 6, okay, there's a new customer, alright, and the total output now is 3, right? So if you look at it, this monopolist is going to sell to this person, to this third person, at 6. Alright, so that continues until we get to this point that we assume to be 2 because of the numerical example I'm going to put forward on that, on the other side of this table. So we have 2 here, alright. So until it gets to this point where, and here we assume that the marginal cost is 2, the marginal cost is constant, not 3, so the marginal cost is 2. So until it gets to 2, where there is a buyer that wants to buy as just, the marginal cost of production of the output, so which still makes sense to sell, just that there will be no marginal profit here. Marginal cost already equals to marginal revenue. So now, the table I said I was going to draw. So here we'll be having price. We'll be having, okay, I think this page should contain the table. We'll be having price, here we'll be having price, then we'll be having quantity. Okay, no, let me have quantity first. Okay, let me just, this is the table. So this is the quantity, followed by, this is the price, right? Then I'll be having total revenue. Total revenue for the non-discriminating monopolist. So I'll just say total revenue for maybe just total revenue, right? And I'll also be having, let me arrange it the way I have it here. Okay, then I'll be having the total revenue for the discriminating monopolist, total revenue from discriminating, the perfect discriminating monopolist PDM, perfect discriminating monopolist PDM. Then I'll be having the marginal revenue of the non-discriminating calculating space, marginal revenue of the non-discriminating monopolist. Okay, let me just say, let me leave it. Just when you say just know that it is for the non-discriminating monopolist. The marginal revenue for the private discriminating monopolist, and then the constant marginal cost, alright, which is just 2 like that. So here we have from here we have 1 when the output is 1 and then the price is 6. So the total revenue for the non-discriminating monopolist is going to be 6. Alright, total revenue for this guy is also going to be 6. Marginal revenue is dash, then the marginal cost is 2. Okay, and here I want to put us through the process for us to see what is going on. And then here the price is, I showed that there's a trade-off between trying to sell more and then the price as well. So because the monopolist wants to sell more, he has to reduce the price to, let's assume it is 5.5 to sell 1 more unit. Now for the non-discriminating monopolist, who has to charge us one price after considering its marginal revenue and its marginal cost difference. So we have 5.5 times 2, and that's going to give us 11. Alright, but for the point discriminating monopoly, what is going to happen? Okay, let me just wait. This is 11, right? And then the marginal revenue here, 11 minus 6 is 5. Okay, then what's the point discriminating discriminating monopoly is going to do is that if the price, it is still going to charge, because it's looking at it's charging people at their maximum willingness to pay. Alright, so it is still going to do this 6 times 1, okay, 6 times 1 as it generated here, plus it is selling 1 more unit of output at this price. Alright, to the next customer, plus 5.5 times 1. So that's what it's going to do. Now this is 6 plus 5, this all of this one will give us 11.5. That's why I gave you that space, 11.5. So if you look at the marginal, so you got 11.5 minus 6. Okay, let me put this guy here, minus 6, this will be 5.5. Alright, and the marginal cost is 2. So can you see a difference now? For the price discriminating monopolies, perfect price discriminating monopolies, the price is equal to what? To the marginal revenue. Alright, which means that they're going to be the same for. But if you look at, for the one that is not discriminating, look at now, the price has fallen to 5.5, but look at the marginal revenue. So there is now a difference between the price and, so you have the marginal revenue being below the price. Okay, we'll see the rest now. Going through the process together, when output is increased to 3, there is a reduction in price to 5, Total revenue for the non-discriminating monopolies is 15. Alright, but for this guy, okay, 15, then 15 minus 11, we give us a marginal revenue of 4, and the marginal cost is still 2. But for this person, you'll be having 11.5, right, plus the price 5 times the additional output, which is 1. Okay, you are selling to a new customer at the price of 1, right? So we'll be having 16.5. So we see here you have 5. So 5 here as a marginal revenue, 5 here as a price. Now when this is when the quantity is to be increased to 4, now we assume that the price falls to 3. Okay, with the price falls to 4 rather. So 4 times 4 is 16. Alright, the marginal revenue for the non-discriminating monopolies is 16 minus 15, which is 1, right? Marginal revenue is 1. But for this, we already know it's going to be 16.5 plus the new price 4 times additional output 1. So this is going to give us 20.5. So 20.5 minus 16.5 will give us 4. Where the marginal cost is still that. Then when the output is increased to 5 and the price falls to 3, so we have 5, 3, 15. Alright, this will become 20.5 plus plus the price is 3 times 1 plus 3 times 1. 3 times 1, so we have 23.5. Okay, so 15 minus 16 for this guy is minus 1, but if you look at 23.5 minus this is going to be 23.5, okay, it's going to be 3, and this is still 2. Alright, then at output 6, we have 6 to 12, then 23.5 plus, okay, 2 times 1, which will give us 25.5. I think, okay, and here you'll be having a minus 3 because you'll be having 12 minus 15, so a marginal revenue of minus 3. Well, here we have a marginal revenue of 2 and then 2. Alright, so for the seventh output, so you have 7, 1, 7, 25.5 plus 1 times 1, which will give us 26.5. Then you have minus 5, 1, and then 2. So what I quickly want us to see is that look at it. We've been able to see that the price of the non-discriminating monopolies, look at the price 6.5, this is going to be greater than the marginal revenue of the non-discriminating monopolies. So I could just shift MR here. This is dash, right? And this is 5. This gives us 4. For easier comparison, this gives us 1. Alright, so if you look at it, price is 6 here. That's dash. Price is where is it? When price is 5.5, you have 5. Alright, price being greater than marginal revenue. When price is 5, you have 4. When price is 4, you have M1 to be 3. When price is 3, you have M1 to be negative already. When price is 2, negative again. When it is 1, minus 5. So now what is going to be the purpose maximizing output level for the non-discriminating monopolies? So if you're looking at the point where the marginal revenue is just equal to the marginal cost. The marginal cost is 2, which is constant. What is the marginal revenue? Now 5 is greater than 2, of course we produce more. 4 is greater than 2, we produce more. But at this point, at output 4, you can see now that the marginal revenue from the additional production of 1 more unit between 3 to 4 will generate a marginal revenue of 1, whereas the marginal cost is 2. Alright, so this firm will not produce at this point. It will stop production where its marginal revenue is greater than its marginal cost. Alright, it should have stopped production where MR is equal to MC. But then between outputs 3 and outputs 4, alright, provided there is no decimal output, there is no fractional output, between that, the monopolies cannot settle for output 4, it will stay here where its MR is still greater than this. So now you have output 3 being the production, okay, the profit maximizing output of the non-discriminating monopolies. Now look at the perfect price discriminating monopolies, the perfect price discriminating monopolies. Now look at it. First, let us look at the price. This is price, this is marginal, this dash, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. So that justifies this score. Alright, then I said that the AR curve is equal to the MR curve. Now, just telling that the demand curve is the same thing as the. Okay, let's do it that way. So here, this is showing that whatever the price is, if the price is 8, that's the MR. If the price is 7, that's the same thing as the MR. If the price is 6, that's the same thing as the MR. Until everybody here, alright, is properly taken care of. So that's one observation. And in that case, so that's one observation. Now look at this person, for example. Let me even, okay, if I assume that it was a constant marginal cost for this guy too. So let me even assume a constant MC. Okay, but you need a constant MC. Alright, so MC and M are there equal here. So not even an upward sloping. So if you look at this now, look at the profit maximizing level of output. Okay, but look at the profit maximizing level of output of this person. Now we'll see it now. For the price discriminating for the perfect price discriminating monopolist. Okay, now look at where is MC equal to MR. Now here, this is it. 5 this is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 2, 4 is greater than 2, 3 is greater than 2, 2 is equal to 2. Alright, but if it decides to produce the 7th unit, it will generate a marginal revenue of 1 and a marginal cost of 2. So it costs it more, alright, than what it's generating to produce 1 additional unit between 6 and 7. So it will not produce this. The production will stop at 6. Alright, it will stop at 6. So if you look at it, for the perfect price discriminating monopolies, there will be more production of this commodity than if the monopolies are not discriminated at all. So that's why you have the Q star here being greater than the Q star here. Alright. So you see what we're observing now. First, you observe that the marginal revenue curve is the same as the demand curve, just like that. Whereas here you have them different. And even here, by the time you keep plotting it and it is perfect and correct, you realize that the slope of this is double, and the slope of this is half the slope of this guy. Alright, that's it. The MR curve is going to be steeper than the AR curve. Alright, so by the AR curve is twice as steep as the MR curve. So that's what I'm trying to say. But here they are the same thing. Alright, so this is like half of this person. So that is why you have that conclusion. So what else? Now, here, because the marginal revenue is equal to the AR, which is as well equal to the price, P equals AR equals MR. If you remember from permanently competitive markets, this is also the condition that occurs. Whereas in fact, equal to MC. Okay? So that is why we say that the permanently competitive markets produce the efficient output. So the efficient output is being produced here too as well, alright, at this Q star. But the thing is that instead of the maximization of social welfare, alright, for a private price discriminating monopolies, there is no consumer surplus at all. Look at it. Look at it. All of these consumer surplus have been taken away. There is no consumer surplus again. Alright, so the efficient output is being produced, but the consumer surplus has ended up as monopoly profit, as additional monopoly profit. Alright, everything has ended up into the coffers of the private price discriminating monopolies. So under private price discrimination, there is no consumer surplus. Please take note of these things. Okay, there is no consumer surplus because they've ended up in the pockets of the private price discriminating monopolies. But then the output that is being provided, that is being produced, is the efficient output. All right. So okay, that's about it. Let me see if I jotted another observation. I think I wrote them as observation. Okay, it sells more than a non-discriminating monopolist. All right. It eradicates all consumer surplus. Okay. In form of additional profit, since all profits must come from customers' pockets. So okay, now exactly, this dead weight loss is not existing. Okay, this is a dead weight loss, right? So there's no dead weight loss for a private price discriminating monopolist. There is no dead weight loss at all. Alright. So but then the dead weight loss and whatever that would have been are ending up in the pockets of the consumer. And in fact, I think there's another thing that we should observe, that the price that the monopolist and the private price discriminating monopolies would, the price, there's no difference because everybody, if you know, we could have erroneously said that I was about to say that the price is lower. But then I remember that it's not as if the price is lower, is that this monopolist is able to charge the different prices to different people based on their maximum willingness to pay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's an assignment, and the assignment is that you should write short notes You should write short notes. It might include graph if necessary. You should write short notes on the other degrees of price discrimination. So you should write short notes on these three other ones. Alright, you know where to submit them for students that belong to the MOG School of Economics. For others, you can just leave them in the comment section, although you can't draw graphs. Obviously, you can't draw graphs. But if graphs are in your work after your research and everything, then make sure that you submit as you are supposed to submit for those who belong to MOG School of Economics. Alright, so for those who don't belong there, it's basically a school where we make use of our YouTube channel, the classes that we have here, in addition to our WhatsApp platform. So, by saying that the students should submit the assignment, they are going to submit the assignment into my DM, alright, on WhatsApp, or into DM of whatever teacher is in charge of this particular course at that period in time, in addition to that person's assignment. Then there's other things that we do. So the WhatsApp link is going to be, our WhatsApp link will be provided in the description of this particular video. If you want more information, okay, on how to go about that, you can click on it. As at this particular date, the amount that we charge is 3,000 naira monthly, and we take 2 courses, alright, per semester. Alright, so that takes like 3 to 4 months depending on how bulky the courses are. So for more information, like I said,